Beyond the brand, your course is more important. Before deciding on this program, what kind of skills are given in this program? What kind of skills are imparted in this program? Are those skills relevant today, tomorrow? And will they be relevant after 3 years, 4 years, or 2 years of the program? Will I be able to sustain my lifestyle after that or not?
Higher education is one of the biggest decisions that a person makes. It is even bigger than buying a house. Yet, most of the students choose their programs based on rankings, ROI, and peer pressure. So, hi guys, this is Sneha, and today we will be talking about the doubts that you all have majorly during making a decision on higher education. Joining me is Mr. Dharamveer Dheer, sir, who is the Group Director at ITM Group of Institutions. And with over 20 years of experience, he has mentored many students. It is more than 3 lakh students at this point. So, thank you, sir, for joining us today. And I'm definitely sure your insights are going to help us too much in terms of making decisions.
My name is Dharamveer, and I've been into counseling of students for last 20 years. And started off my career in 2004, and I have seen the world changing, seen three generations coming up, then from millennials to Gen Zs and now to Gen Alpha, all the three generations coming in. But I'm seeing that large number of pointers wherein the students, their problems and their confusions are almost same. Although they take it in a different ways themselves, but yes, the confusions are same. Of course, as you said, higher education decisions, mostly all of the students, the first and the foremost thing which students do is choose a brand over what kind of program they want to do. Just about an year back, my son himself, he wanted to do BBA, but he applied to a college which is very famous for VCO. After having a lot of analysis and everything, then he chose to a different college to do his BBA. So this is going on in the real life, in the real sense. And almost all the students, they have a lot of confusion. First, they choose a brand over a program they want to do. They are the students, they do not really analyze if the program they are going into, what kind of outcomes that program has after 3 years or maybe 4 years, or whatever the duration of the program.
What kind of mistakes do you think these students make while evaluating on terms of, it can be a program or even a college?
First thing you'll be astonished to see, they do not evaluate. That is a big thing. When we talk to a lot of students, they do not evaluate the course or the college. They evaluate on the parameter, if my friends are going there or not.
Yeah.
That is a big thing, which is kind of very cliche. But yes, I would say that the biggest mistake is choosing a course without knowing the outcome. They do not evaluate the outcomes. They do not evaluate the kind of skills they need. They just go for the, for example, engineering karna hai to engineering karna. He doesn't know if the specialization in the engineering which I am choosing, what kind of program outcome it will have after 4 years of the program, one. Second, after 4 years, since the world is changing, is that program even relevant after 4 years or not? They do not know it. So they do not evaluate these things. The right way to evaluate is to see if the skills that they are attaining in the program, are those skills relevant after 3 years, 4 years, or the program duration? And not only those skills, the other program outcomes also. These are the first basic, the ABC of evaluating the program.
And what would you say on the ROI impact based on the programs?
See, again, the ROI in education is an investment, I agree, but it's not a business. Education is not a business for a student. It might be business for the institutions, but it's not business for the student. If we look at ROI, if I look at my ROI, the whole amount I spent, my parents spent on my MBA, I earn more than that in a week. Extraordinary high ROI. So we should not be looking at the monetary ROI. The real ROI is the kind of networks you maintain, the kind of networks you get throughout for your whole of your life. One. Number two, the program outcomes which impact your career throughout the life. Number three, the kind of industry relationships that the institution has in whichever program you are going. If they have industry relations, industry interface, and even the programs, if they are co-created by industry, that makes a real impact. That affects your ROI, not the median placement or these kind of things. See, the point is, a good decent institute will get you a placement. That's not a problem. But the point is the institution able to instill in you the core skills which will go throughout your career or not? अगर आपको सिर्फ वही 2 महीने का प्लेसमेंट का ट्रेनिंग करवा के उसके बाद आपको कहीं पे इंटरव्यू क्लियर करा दे, सो यू आर ट्रेन टू क्लियर द इंटरव्यू, यू आर नॉट ट्रेन टू डू द वर्क. यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग? सो clearing an interview is a one different skill which you can learn 2 months. But sustaining that profile, sustaining that work and all that tasks following the interview in your career, are you prepared for that? This is the real ROI, not the initial placement.
I guess this is something that most of the students do avoid while taking into consideration. कि, okay, this is also something I should look after and then go ahead and choose something for myself.
Absolutely. They avoid because they don't know. It is all the shiny brochures all over the place. They would show that we have 100% placement and 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs, 1 crore, 25 lakhs. These kind of placement advertisements are there and all those. These fascinate the student. And I don't blame students for that. They are just 15, 16 old or maybe just coming out of their teens when they go into UG, and they are just 21 when they go into their PG. They do get attracted by a lot of shiny brochures, a lot of advertisements, and these humongous amounts in the salaries. But then the point is, if an institution, there is a very large institution where they have placement of 1.5 crores, but the students, they get attracted, no doubt about that, and they are aspirational. Being aspirational is not bad. Do we realize how many students got that kind of a package out of, say, around 5,000 odd passing out? If there are 5,000 students graduating and one gets that, then it is he has to be very extraordinary. And the larger audience in India, the larger part of, they are above average and good students, not really correctly guided towards their own career goals.
If we look about the higher studies, major of the times once a bachelor's degree is done, students do take this consideration of maybe getting an experience like work experience of 2 years or more and then going ahead with completing their MBA or any other higher education as in for masters. So do you think like what's the impact on this thing, first work experience and then doing a degree? So what's your say on this thing?
Well, let me put it this way. This is a question in India only. If you go to US, in Europe, it is actually the case that most of the students, after completing their UG, they work for some time, maybe a year or two, or maybe even for a longer duration, and then go for their universities. Most of the students are like that. It was a trend in India that all the education has to be, linear and continuous till the post graduation, and then you work maybe in a business or a job or whatever you. But internationally, it is the case that normally people complete their graduation, work for some time, and then go for their PhDs. Now, comparing the two scenarios, of course, there are two scenarios which are very different. But if we compare them, first thing is working person. If I am a graduate today and I start working on maybe say X amount of remuneration, I would work on the remuneration for maybe a year or 2 or 3 years, or maybe on my situation. What I have to check is if I am lacking the skills which are needed for me to grow in my career. One, there are so many graduates who do not do PG because they are in some profession where they don't need it. They can upskill themselves within their own work experience. Is it really required? First. Number two, if I leave my job or a business today and go in for a year or 2 years of studies, is it possible for me to continue working and do my studies side by side? Is it possible or not? Number three, what is the opportunity cost? If I am earning, say, around 6 lakhs today, a year, and in 2 years I would earn 12 lakhs, is the program, whichever I'm going to do, will that program be able to upskill me to a level where this opportunity cost is covered or not? While this opportunity cost covered or not is the least of the, this is the smallest parameter, because if you get skilled enough, if you upskill yourself in the year or two of your higher education in PG, the returns can be exponential, because you've already worked for 2 3 years before your PG, and you have this. And within your PG, if you are in a good, decent institution, you get some internships and consultancies and projects. It gives you extra edge of the practical exposure, and then you might get placed on a very high pedestal. So yes, of course, it might sound a little weird that I'll be losing 2 years of my salary, but then for the lifelong commitment to your career, you have to upskill yourself. You do it either ways. You upskill yourself within your work, or if you feel the gaps are there, then you might have to see a higher education program, which is mostly the case in particularly in society like India, where UG program or normal UG programs, they do not skill the students to a level which is sustainable for a long career. That's why.
Beyond tuitions, like what other costs are there that students mostly underestimate?
Oh, there are a lot of costs which students don't even know. Underestimation is I mean, it is an understatement, I would say. They do not know the costs. For example, a program is a 2 year program or maybe 3 year. Today the fee is X. The hostel fee might be X. In the next year it might increase. They don't know. Yeah. They do not take into consideration the inflation for 2 3 years or whatever their duration of the program is. And then a large underestimation is for some time during their program, they might have to move to a larger city for internships. They might have to go for some project. They might have to go for some international immersion or maybe immersion in within India only. So there are a lot of things which students, get to know later in their program. Underestimation is a one thing, but they do not know that these things are going to come up within their program, and these things usually get avoided. And then if the cost escalates, they find themselves in a fix. "Arey yaar, I was thinking of 10 12 lakhs and it's going beyond 20 lakhs." If at all, if you want to measure it the right way, calculate the total fee, calculate whatever the amount you were going to spend on the hostel and mess, if applicable to you. If not hostel, and if you are a daily attendee of the college, then you might have to see what are the bus charges, or maybe your two-wheeler, four-wheeler, whichever thing you want to do. And then after that, your extracurriculars. Extracurriculars in professional colleges, they form a very large portion of the curriculum. For example, be at ITM, we run a BTech program where the program in itself is taught in a state-of-the-art campus. But there are lots and lots of visits by the students for different kind of workshops, for different kind of seminars, for webinars, for different industry exposure and all those things. So that traveling and all those things, they might have to attend so many conferences. They might have to attend to a large number of VPs, CXO level people. So that all adds up to the cost. So students, they usually ignore these things, but when they go into the program, they want to have all this. Yeah. So that is why these are the cost escalates. Sure.
Luckily, I guess here in ITM, the charge of traveling and other things do get into it. But when it comes to the BTech at ITM, we do provide the tickets and everything to the students. So that is one of the good things that we do over here. Coming on to the next segment, so for someone who needs funding, so do strategies and charts work for them, or are there any other better options which they can choose?
See, for higher education funding, there are 3 4 different strategies which you might. First of all, getting good marks in your previous qualification. gets you some scholarships in many institutions, like merit scholarships, and for toppers, there are some different kind of fee waivers and all available. You need to check on your college or university wherever you are applying if it applicable there or not. First thing is the merit-based scholarships. Then you have scholarships related to a large number of your credentials, sports, or maybe defense brats, and then you might get scholarship on. Some might have disabilities and all. These kind of scholarships are available. After that, we might see a large number of institutions which aid the students. Institutional aids are also available by some. There are NGOs which provide the institutional aids for the deserving students all across the country. Although it is the number is not large, but if you are a deserving candidate, you definitely get something or the other. Number three, there are education loans available. Nowadays, it has become a little easier to get the education loans. Most of the institutions, like here at ITM, we do have our own finance desk also available, wherein if you are taking admission, we take your documents and we put into a large number of banks or maybe NBFCs and connected with the banks, and then you can proceed with your banks for your loans and all. But even after that, I would say that applying timely to the college, applying timely to your institution, once you are done with your decision that I want to do, per se, MBA, for some or the other reason, the marks are not really good, and you think that you might not get merit scholarships, you should apply timely and get your admissions timely. You might get early decision benefits in many of the institutions. It's not a small one. You get a very decent. Like at ITM, I think at our Raipur MBA, they get 30,000 rupees as their early decision benefit. So these all these things are available on their websites. You can evaluate on that. So the mix of these strategies can get you a very, very decent planning on your studies. But one thing you should never forget, that whatever the amount of fee you pay to any institution, it is on the students, onus to extract the maximum benefit out of that. So just for example, I keep on telling all the students that in one of the conferences, Swami Vivekananda told all over the world, if at all you extract maximum out of every spend you make. If I spend something maybe around 500 on a shirt, I expect it runs for a season. Then my value is, I've extracted my value. If I take a shirt for 5,000, I would think that if it is good for 10 years and gives me, a good look for maybe 10-15 parties, my ROI is good on my shirt. But one customer, that is a student, who tend to extract less value out of the full fee they pay. Just for example, in a lighter vein, I would say, if at all you might have studied tuitions in your, did the tuition teacher ever reduce your fee if you bunked classes for 3 or 4 days? Yeah. Never. School, college, university, tuitions, they would never reduce your fee if you are not able to extract maximum out of them. So, a big part of your financial planning is to extract maximum value out of whatever fee you pay to your college or school or whichever institution you go to.
So, as we spoke about scholarships, so students who are near to average and a bit below or even touching to that average percentages, they think that if you are a topper only, then you are eligible to go ahead with scholarships. And I guess because of that fear, most of them don't even apply for the same. So, what would you say on this thing?
See, as I said earlier, also, it's not only the merit scholarships. There are a large number of different other schemes available for the students. For example, a person might be a national level cricket player. He would not do good in the studies because of obvious reasons. So he'll get the sports-based scholarship, disables, the sports, then defense, ex-servicemen. There are a lot many categories of scholarships which you get. And as I said, if you apply timely, the early decision benefits are there in all the good, decent colleges.
Once enrolled, what do you think separates the students who get their return on investment and who don't?
One of the most important questions here. We touched upon one point just few minutes back, that if we extract maximum out of whatever we are given, we get larger value. So what I feel is the students who are fairly disciplined enough. I'm not saying you go into all 9 to 5, and the discipline is not only about time. It is about how you approach your tasking, how do you approach your deadlines and everything. So discipline is one thing which is particularly important. Two, if at all you are in your class, try to focus on the studies. I mean, the distractions there when you are expected to learn, when you are doing exactly the thing which you have paid for. At that point of time, you need to have your focus right. And of course, the largest ROI, the students who focus on their studies, who are fairly disciplined, and who have this sense of upskilling themselves according to the industry trends, they get the maximum ROIs from the same course, from the same class, from the same institution.
So at the end of the day, we can say that, we do not rely totally on any college's placement, but we have to rely on ourselves and the skill that we develop throughout.
That is, of course, that goes without saying, because a college will get you a large number of companies visiting the campus. A college can enable you to have a large number of interviews, and college might tell you or teach you or train you for interviews, for interpersonal skills, for soft skills, for everything. But at the end of the day, in the interview itself, or the selection criteria in itself, it is the student who has to perform. It is the student's ability to stay focused and stay on the task that is most important. Yes, of course. And who knows it more than you? Who knows it more than you? The in this From the same class, from the same teachers, from the same specialization, even the same marks, these two students in the same company on the same profile might get different remuneration packages. We do face it every day, right? Just a few days back, one of the large big four firms was here in the campus, and they interviewed, say, close to 50, 60 people. We got quite a few selections, but from the same class, we have two students. One of them got I think, around 8 lakhs, and the other one got 11 lakhs on the same profile, in the same company, in the same office, from the same class, same specialization, almost similar marks. That is the ability to stay focused in your tasking. That is how the things are in the world.
Any last piece of advice that you would give to these students, especially on these terms?
Well, there are quite a few things which are non-negotiable. One, beyond the brand, your course is more important. Which program you want to do. Before deciding on this program, you need to know what kind of skills are given in this program. What kind of skills are imparted in this program? Are those skills relevant today, tomorrow? And will they be relevant after 3 years, 4 years, or 2 years of the program? Will I be able to sustain my lifestyle after that or not? That is the most pertinent question. And then decide on which program to do, which college to go, and then the financial and other ROI questions follow.
So, guys, as we heard through the entire session, education does open the doors for everyone. But again, it depends on who you are and who you aim to become. Uh, Coming to the end of this session, I would thank Dharamveer sir. Thank you so much for actually going forward with taking this session and clearing major of the doubts in terms of, choosing what kind of program we would want to go ahead with, what is the right decision and right questions we should ask to ourselves before choosing program or an institution or anything. So thank you so much, sir, for giving us your time and taking in this entire session with.
Thank you so much for following, and I wish all the very best to all the students listening to this. And I hope the advice is clear and you make the most out of it. Thank you so much.